And now for a review of what's making the headlines in the papers this morning, let's bring in Arise analyst, Dr. Constance Ikoku. Good morning, Constance.
Good morning, Charles. I hope you're good today.
As usual.
Okay, and good morning to Nkechi. Welcome back from Washington, D.C. How was it?
It was hectic and amazing at the same time. Good morning, Dr.
I can
Okowa.
imagine. I hope you had some time to rest, not just work.
I tried.
Okay, and Yolanda, good morning to you.
Good morning, Dr. Constance. Good to see you.
All right, nice to see you too. To look at the papers with us today, we have Emmanuel Aiken. He is a columnist with Vanguard newspaper. Hello there and welcome to the program. We'll begin with this day. There we have Okowa. For stable Nigeria, Tinubu should complete 8-year tenure, discloses article leaving PDP soon. Uncertainty surrounding coalition, says Saraki lacks the moral right to criticize him. Insists defection not connected to EFCC case. Okowa is the former governor of Delta State and Alhaji Atiku Abubakar's running mate in the 2023 elections. So let's dive in specifically on 3 points that he raised here. One, that allowing President Bola Tinubu to complete 8 years is the right thing to do and that it will make for stability. Not sure what to make of that. Secondly, that PDP does not appear to be ready to compete in 2027. Some will agree with him. And then finally, that Atiku Abubakar is on his way out of PDP, I would say, after the party has been wrecked, partly due to his ambitions. Emmanuel, your take on these thoughts from Okowa.
You will agree with me that the primary purpose for a political party is to contest elections. And a political party which is unable to contest elections would have lost its the spirit. Just a few years ago, you recall that in Anambra State, there used to be multiple lists of PDP candidates. But this time around, just ahead of this governorship election that is coming forth soon, the PDP has been struggled to get a candidate to fill in its slots. So you will see that the engine of the PDP seems to have been lost. Now, Okowa did say that in that Arise News interview, which was quite revealing, that President Tinubu should have 2 more terms. And this is said on the basis of the fact that, on his claim, that the South deserves to have its turn. In that interview, he was also saying that while he was contesting as the VP candidate of the PDP, that he had issues selling the Atiku Abubakar, a Northerner, as the candidate in the South because of the sentiment amongst Southerners that it was the turn of the South to produce the next president of Nigeria after 8 years of President Buhari. Now, what he said, how it resonates, given the challenges Nigerians are having, is another thing that people are bound to question him. That he's bringing the slogan of Emilokon, that Emilokon has now become a national symbol for him, a national chorus for him, where some Nigerians would dispute that. Or Senator Okowa also said in that interview that it was not because of his sins, as alleged by some critics, that's the reason for his defection to the PDP. He said that, yes, there was a petition against him over alleged misuse of 1.3 trillion naira. He said, yes, he went to the EFCC, but that there was no issue arising from that. So what we have seen is that the PDP, it's the engine. The engine of the PDP seems to be in a state of disrepair.
All right, let's move quickly to, the Guardian newspaper. Then, Nine Mobile at Crossroads seeks a $3 billion lifeline as a 10.3 million subscribers port. The 10.3 million subscribers that either ported the network or threw away their SIM cards did that in the last 20 months, this report says. Nine Mobile now only hosts 3.2 million users as of January 2025, as the company sinks more into a multiple crisis poor services has ruined the network, as subscribers are subjected to zero network, non-availability of customer service, etc. I mean, I can attest to this. I have friends who have tried to use 9 Mobile outside of Abuja and it didn't work. So what is happening is that in a market where there's competition, people simply, you know, move away and look for other options. And that's why it is good to have a competition in a market, Charles, if you want to come in there.
I wonder what the real problem with 9 Mobile is, because recently they were also embroiled in a court case over ownership. But personally, I've had the experience with that line. I happen to be one of the pioneer subscribers of 9 Mobile. I think that when it was Etisalat, they were actually handing out lines for free, and you could actually customize the line when you collect it. So initially, it was a fantastic experience. They were giving the other networks a good run for their money, and then all of a sudden, it went downhill. Their services became extremely poor, and right now, like you pointed out, outside of Abuja or Lagos, it just doesn't work at all. Unfortunately, that's where I have my WhatsApp, but of course, it is another network that actually runs my 9 Mobile WhatsApp, unfortunately. So maybe, just maybe, it may just be that court case, but if you lose 10 million subscribers, some actually port, some toss the line away, is as simple as that, then it appears 9 Mobile may just be on its way to closing shop unless something radical happens.
Looks like Vanguard newspaper this morning, Defection's PDP goes to court, says APC will soon implode. The People's Democratic Party hopes to reclaim its mandate from Delta State Governor Sheriff Oboroweri, who has jumped ship to the All Progressives Congress with the entire party structure in the state. I mean, some would say about time this is challenged in court. If you decamp from a party that elected you into office, you should lose your seat. If not, wait till the end of your elected tenure to move to a new party in case if you want to jump in here.
I mean, this has always been a bone of contention. Whenever politicians defect to another party while holding a position that they were gotten into with the vehicle of the party that they're defecting from. However, I don't know how many governors has anybody actually successfully removed because of defection, right? And I think just going back to the vice presidential candidate of the PDP, Okowa, talking about why this defection, or just basically stating that this defection has nothing to do with the EFCC, I think the optics are not really in his favor, because whether it's true or not, in Nigeria, we know that defecting to a ruling party often comes with those whispers of your sins are forgiven. He knows it, we know it, everyone knows it. So we should just stick to that. And again, coming when he was talking about Atiku leaving the party, I don't think anyone will be surprised, because Atiku always leaves the PDP.
Not at all. no surprises there.
So we're not really surprised. Well, let's see. I'm glad they're going to court. Let's see what the court says about this, because this defection and losing your position when you defect to another party that's not the vehicle you used to get into that position has always been a bone of contention.
That should be solved,
so let's settle it.
It needs to be settled, yes. I think. Daily Sun, here we have EFCC speaks on e-money's arrest, says more high-profile arrests to follow. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission arrested Lagos socialite Emeka Okonkwa, known as e-money, for alleged naira abuse and defacing of foreign currencies. This is spraying of money at events, which is an offense under Nigerian's Foreign Exchange Act. It promises that more people will be picked up as well. Yolanda, I would like you to come in here. Of all the problems that the country faces, it is spraying money that people have been arrested for. I mean, it's officially against the law, but come on, is this? I don't know. What are your thoughts?
As difficult as it is for you to have a comment, it's the same for me. I just don't know what to say. There's so many things that we can be putting our efforts towards, especially the EFCC. You know, we have these defections that are being looked into, and there's so many allegations about, as we spoke about yesterday, about how there were threats to take up some of these politicians to the EFCC. Probably that's a better thing to respond to than this. This is actually giving subtle threats, direct threats that, you know, more is to come. And I've been seeing a lot of commentary about this report relating to people also giving it a tribal twist, saying that there's more tribes that are being targeted as opposed to others. So, I mean, we wait and see how this unfolds, but not a good look.
This is a publicity stunt. It's as simple as that. Arrest a high-profile socialite for spraying naira and dollars and defacing foreign currency. Slap on the wrist, and then he's out in just a couple of days, and life just continues. Nothing is going to come out of this arrest. It's a very huge publicity stunt, and everybody is jumping on the bandwagon. I mean, here we are talking about it.
Absolutely.
But you see, nothing is going to come out of this.
Spray money
People
in
are
Nigeria.
still going to spray money, whether you like it or yes.
Okay, let's move on to Daily
Can I
Independent.
say something?
Yes, please.
I think the EFCC will do itself a good bit of goodwill by explaining the reason why it set free the 2 children of a billionaire in Lagos, because those children were invited and they were set free. So the EFCC will do itself well by explaining the justification for not prosecuting the children of those 2 billionaires.
Is it Chief Okoya's children?
Yes. Razak Okoya. Yes,
Chief Razak Okoya. Okay, so there are big fishes and big fishes. Well, let's see Daily Independent. FG to inject 110 billion intervention fund into select medical schools. This is for the upgrade of infrastructure and will occur across the 6 geopolitical zones. This is being done to stop the trend of medical practitioners leaving the country for better life abroad. 70 billion naira will go to rehabilitation, while 15 billion naira will go to building hostels for medical students. I mean, good project. At the same time, the main problem arises often when students leave school, acquiring the type of job that can give them a stable life. Because let's face it, Nigerian students, when they go abroad, the issue isn't that they are lacking in the quality of education. They are brilliant. They do well. So it's people looking for a better quality of life, you know, after school. Any thoughts here, briefly?
I think that's very well said. The priority should be actually being able to create jobs for the people who are leaving. Because you said it very rightly. Nigerians are very brilliant. Everywhere where they go, they are superseding in every ramification of the word. And I feel that, you know, also at this point, this kind of headline is slightly exhausting because we've been talking about, we know, these are issues we know. Let's just act. We must get past this stage and just do what needs to be done and, you know, just act.
All right. The Punch newspaper and MPCL shake up. MDs of Port Harcourt, Warri Kaduna Refinery sacked. Several Mele Kyari top executive acts in major overhaul. Other senior officials, including Bala Wunti, asked to leave. And then those that have a year to retire have also been asked to pack their bags. Emmanuel, briefly, total house cleansing going on in NMPCL. All eyes are on the new management. They better do well.
Well, the reshuffling, the sack of these 3 executives is said to be because the Punch report says that they did not meet key performance indices. And the failure to meet these KPIs is one of the reasons that was also given for the removal of Mele Kyari. So, but one expects the NMPC, given the new injection of new blood, to be able to push performance indicators up.
All right, let's go to the international headlines. A Citizen newspaper, VAT minister won't be fired according to analysts, but others say any transparent government should have fired the South African finance minister, Enoch Godongwana, over his quote, incompetent and arrogant bungled budget and VAT hike that has now been overturned by the courts. The AFCC has a point here. It says that the minister had taken or had not taken the objection seriously, and that this would have been resolved earlier. Let's see, Financial Times. Maltese golden passport ruled illegal in blow against sale of EU citizenship. This means cash for citizenship program that allowed people to live and work in the European Union bloc must be scrapped. So for all those Nigerians who acquired the Malta golden passport, you know, what it's saying is that the court has ruled you are not a national. Let's even talk about how things are going. A lot of Nigerians, you know, go outside, get this golden passports in order to be EU citizens, and you know, leaving the country, you know, and hoping miraculously that Nigeria will get better. What are your thoughts on this? You know.
I think a lot of Nigerians have such a high level of tenacity, and purchasing a passport through these citizenship routes is something that has become popular over the years. People are making the efforts to, you know, gain another citizenship and have that extra layer of protection from all the whims that are happening in the country at the moment. And I think, you know, the legal system in, you know, saying no to this EU citizenship for sale is kind of what Donald Trump is doing, you know, trying to stop immigrants from coming in, not just Nigerians, but
and birthright citizenship
absolutely.
too.
So I think it was just a matter of time before this sort of thing would come about, when the rest of the world gets quote unquote tired of the rest of us.
I mean, you think, Charles, with this is that, you know, your father's house is falling apart, and the solution people think is running away. It's still waiting for you at the end of the day. True. You have to sit down and solve it, or find a way out of the problem, you know, instead of just running away. The Times newspaper: Trump will not break us, vows Carney after election triumph. That's Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney, after he narrowly won election without a majority to govern. He says America wants Canada's land, water and resources, and wants to own the country, but that will never happen. Remember that President Trump had said that Canada should be the 51st state of the U.S. Nkechi, if you want to jump in here, he's more direct in countering Trump.
Definitely, and I think this election became intentionally or unintentionally a referendum basically on Trump's looming shadow on global politics. The mere thought or specter of Trump 2.0 in the White House pushed Canadians to what it felt like a political survival mode. So I don't even think it was much about liking Kanye. It was just about not losing Canada. So I think that's how this election turned out.
Well, he'll have to find a way to... Yeah, come in, Emmanuel, very
yes,
briefly.
I want to say that it is remarkable that Trump has been able to disrupt the great relationship that existed in North America between Canada and the United States. It's so unfortunate that his politics has been toxic.
Well, we'll have to leave it there. Emmanuel Azikian, he is a columnist with Vanguard newspaper. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
And thank you for leading today's newspaper review, Dr. Constance. And that's all we have time for here on Daybreak. I'm Charles Eruka.
And I'm Yolanda Robert. Thank you for staying with us on Daybreak. The morning show is next.
Thanks for watching. I am Nkechi Nana.